Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2, Episode 6. Last episode we had singing and... Mothers, and a little bit of Miko, you know? We'll probably see a little more of her this episode, right?
the next episode, and the next episode.
Like, permanently going forward? Is she
permanent side character.
Cemented into the cast?
Just like Kashiwagi, yes.
Well, I love any episode that has, like, teaching energy from Chika to Miyuki, so last episode is up there, you know, in regards to any episode of the show.
What do you think Chika will teach him next? We've had volleyball, and now we've had singing. What's the next thing?
I don't know, because both of those things were incredibly out of left field for me. Like, I could not have predicted them. So, maybe next time it will be something I could predict. Like, maybe Chika will show Miyuki how to correctly grade ramen and how to judge how to eat it and where to eat it.
Or, like, a good restaurant to take Kaguya to.
Ooh, yes. I like that. All right, you ready? Sweet. I really enjoyed season 1 of this show, but already I feel like season 2 is better in a lot of ways for me. I'm enjoying it so much. Interesting? Is that something you've known?
Yes.
It's like testimonials. I'm so excited. You have no idea. She's so good. Oh, she's a professional.
To command everyone's attention.
An anti-Shirogane section. Amazing.
Flames.
Ishigami knows what people want.
He put so much effort into it.
Unshakable strength.
I'm nervous.
Me too.
She's nervous too, I think. I don't want her spirit to be broken.
Whoa. I feel so bad for her now. Like,
and
the way
every time
they're
she
writing
loses, it gets worse. They'd have such a good possible love connection.
Aww.
Maybe that's the real love connection.
Flashback? Look at how the aspect ratio changed.
裁判所で遅くまでお仕事。家に誰もいないのって寂しくないの？うん。私だったら耐えられないな。世の中が悪い人ばっかだから、パパとママは忙しくてお家にもっとちゃんとしてれば。ミコちゃんはとても真面目。朝誰よりも早く教室に来て図を変える。先生の言いつけを破ったことはないし、勉強はいつも。皆さん、児童会長に立候補するのも自然のは学校に持ってこないようにしましょう。は正しさを愛している。学生にとって正しさなんて自分たちの自由に上がって、私たちは風紀委員に入った。
Whoa.
ミコちゃんは先輩殿の男子でも遠慮なく取り締まる。疎ましく思う人も多かった。ミコちゃんは表情を返す、意に返さない。でもそれは違う。人のいないところでなく、本当は怖がりで人並みに傷つく。ミコちゃん、強くなんてないのに、誰も分かってくれない。正しくありたいだけなのに、どうしてそんな目で見るの？見られたら誰だって怖いんだよ。
What's he gonna do?
もういいだろ。時間の無駄だ。こんなアホらしい公約掲げて票を取れると思っているの？いいのミコ。
What's he doing?
How is this gonna play out?
アホらしいだろ。時代に強制坊主とかみんな嫌がってると思うぞ。反論があるなら俺の目を見て話すことだ。
Look me straight in the eye.
私が言いたいのは。
言ってみ。
He made it just one person and not a crowd.
この公約は全然アホらしくありません。こちら各高校のブランドイメージのアンケートで努力は年々下降の一途をたどっております。
おう、原因はつかめているのか。
いくつかありま
He's
す。
making it like a debate almost.
The music's amazing.
偏差値だけ高いボスに言いたいこと言えてよ。教師において地域さんの姿勢しか意識してないから。キャンプファイヤー
Shurigan is like the best person.
なくなりました。風紀の乱れが起こした問題の一つで、ルールはモラルを育てるのです。
するのはやりすぎだ。
かっこいいでしょ、坊さん。キュンキュンします。
お前のフェチは知らんわ。
この情報者のため、今こそ風紀のある周知員という意味。
坊主頭が有効なデータは。
式をセットする時間が減ったことに起因します。
坊主を強制するのは難しい。
多様性です。髪型一つ
奪われると言った方がいいだろう。
様々な部活動を支援しています。理想は実現できます。討論は30分以上オーバーしてしまいましたが、誰かがありませんでした。
I love how they're both like.
So captivating.
には負けてしまったのですが。
Next time she runs, you know?
But now she's like invigorated.
She's established herself.
It's not gonna be bad.
Positive energy.
It's positive. It's
Compliments.
私感動しちゃった。私も。
来年もあるんだ。
He made it so it was possible for her to win after he graduates.
おやめてくださいよ。心臓に悪いです。くなっちゃったんですよ。
Aw.
そのせいで。
会計監査と庶務も決めないとだ。ちょっと待ってください。何考えてます。
Wow.
But he did a good thing.
会長当選ですよ。私は心配なんてしてませんでしたよ。今は素直に喜びましょうよ。
She was nervous.
Oh.
はいはい、よしよし。そんなのじゃないわ。知ってるんですよ。ろくに眠れてなかったでしょ。好きなだけ殺して。かぐやさん、ちゃいましたか？
I like how like no one really knows the extent of Kaguya and Hayasaka's relationship.
あの時会長が割って入ってくれなかったら言えなかったはずです。
She realizes.
しきれません。
それ感謝してるって顔じゃないぞ。二人とも生徒会に入る気はないか。目指すのなら実地で学んでおいた方が都合がいいだろう。
私は結構です。正直生徒会興味ないので。
Interesting.
あくまでミコちゃんの応援をしたいだけなので。私生徒会に誘われるなんて今までなくて。
It's orchestral music, man.
パタがそわそわしてます。どうかしたか。あるのかなっていうか、なんてかもって結構不安になるんですね。正確になる。何わけわからんことを言ってるんだ。石神会系も新生徒会の初仕事、片しに行くぞ。
Oh, look at the smile.
なんで会長は見舞いに来てくれないの？
Maybe he doesn't know.
まあ選挙の後片付けが。私を生徒会に
入れるわ
けないじゃん。体調にメンタル左右される人です。
She has like an app on her phone
Yeah.
for her physical state.
会長は気づいたのかもしれない。傀儡だってこともそんなことまでしてたんです。できることは全てするって決めたの。まあできることを全部した結果、疑心暗鬼になってたら世話。汚い手段しか使えない最低な女。そんな人仕方ないってほどじゃないでしょ。第一できる行動でしょ。もうってこと稼いだお金で働きもせず飲む。
What is happening?
Prostitutes!
不安があったり怒った。私のこと好きなんだと思ってた。
He needs to come
私
in.
が特別だから野鳥は誰にでも優しくて、誰にでも救いの手を差し伸べる。そんなに言いたいことがあるなら。
Jumped out the window.
後片付けに手間取ってしまって怒ってるのか。みんなに協力してもらってあの身勝手は。俺を動かしたのは篠宮たちだ。あの場を静観するようなやつでいてはいけないと思った。逆に篠宮たちがいてくれれば俺は何だってできる気がする。副会長になってくれ。俺にはお前が必要だ。
Yes, the music.
Amazing.
それ特別扱いですよ。
Definitely. Ishigami's first.
選挙戦も無事終了。通常業務に戻るぞ。留学旅行。2学期は忙しい。
Miko Iino.
Miko Iino.
今回の選挙戦。
Yes! Open it!
Please?
You can do this!
Yes! I have such mixed feelings about her, but I'm so happy that she's here. Okay, that was season 2, episode 6 of Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I wrote down a theory. And it's a little out of left field.
Ooh. Okay.
But I think that Hayasaka is God. Like, I think that, like, she has omnipotent power. And the only reason we are watching this show is because, like, she is using her divine power to air it on TV. She had, like, all of the scenes and pictures on her iPad or phone or whatever before. She can, like, zoom the frame in and out.
In lesser scale, maybe she's the narrator.
No.
The writer of the show.
I think she's God. But the narrator, though, like, I did have that thought, and I was like, what if it's, like, just her doing, like, an awesome impression of, like, a narrator?
It was just her decision. She, like, became a famous, like, author or storyteller, and this was the story that she came up with, and it was from personal experience.
I like that. We got the same type of shot several times in this episode, and I think we've seen it before as well, and it's with the white background, and there's, like,
The black specks in the air.
black specks
They
in the air.
did that when Miko and
Miyuki.
Shirogane and Miyuki had their little face-off
Yeah.
moment, and it was the white background with the black specks. I guess it's like a thing that they're using for this season, because I don't know if I necessarily remember it from season 1.
I don't remember it either, but it reminds me of Horimiya a little bit. Like, I was trying to think if there was any, like, any pattern to it, to when they use it.
There's that, and then there's the creating a smaller screen.
Yes.
Which has been in this season as well.
Which I am here for. I love it. It adds, I think, more, like, emotion in a lot of ways. but I wonder if they use it in like emotional moments or anything specific. I love the change in aspect ratio though, for the Miko Iino flashback. It was really interesting. And it was very like manga-esque, you know?
I liked the specifically when Ishigami was talking about her moment. That was very like comic book manga style, and honestly I started tearing up when I was hearing about her. And I love that she's not actually confident. She's not actually like brave. She just cares so much about what she cares about that she tries to put herself out there in order, because it's morally right for her to do so. And it's like going against every part of her doesn't want to, and more every time she loses.
It speaks more to her character and like bravery because she feels all of those emotions and still puts herself out there. And that's they really make me like her, you know?
Yeah.
And they do a really good job about it.
I love that Ishigami is the one that like has the knowledge about her, because that pushes him more into like being a part of the student council. Like he wasn't very present in season 1, and he obviously regretted not being very present.
Yeah.
And now he's directly involved with this new character that they're bringing now into the student council. And we already have like some type of dynamic for him and Miko Iino. And then we have that she loves Fujiwara. So that's nice to have some dynamics.
Is there more to Ishigami and Miko Iino that we like that has happened that we don't know yet?
I could totally see them being like a funny dynamic, have crush on each other but not admit it kind
You
of
just
thing.
want love.
I think I just want more love. That might be right.
No, like is there more of a past between them that we don't know?
It just seems like they've always probably butt heads, where Ishigami was always kind of not showing up and not doing things.
Sorry, we had a technical thing.
Technical difficulties.
But go on.
But I imagine that Ishigami and Miko Iino have had their run-ins often with disagreeing on how much attention to show in class, how much to show up for. Did she describe Ishigami as like a burnout or something?
Yeah. And then I called her a bitch, and I don't know. I obviously don't think that way anymore because I love her. I just want to know what the.
I mean, he kind of.
Is about.
He wasn't going to things. He wasn't.
Ichigami?
You don't think he didn't slightly deserve her disrespect?
I don't know. Probably critically, like if I'm trying to think about it as like a critical, objective person, but it's hard for me to do that when it comes to Ishigami because I love him. I love him.
I think you relate to him a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, okay. How can you not say he's an amazing person, character, when he put together this presentation? For like, it was so well thought out and beautiful.
Ishigami season 2 is like, he had is it FOMO?
Yeah.
What does that
Fear of missing out?
Fear of missing out, yeah. He had that, and now he's doing everything he can to be more present, and I love season 2 Ishigami.
He knows what people want. He can control a crowd.
Like, I think he probably thinks about it like, I never want to pay attention, so what could I put in this presentation to make me even pay attention and or want to vote for Miyuki?
Yeah, like the fire,
flames,
yeah,
you know,
it's amazing.
A class trip to wherever the students vote for.
It's amazing. I love that the whole student council took part in the speech, even Chika, making sure to get crowd control.
The anti-Shirogane side of the gymnasium.
What are your feelings towards Kaguya? They've, in the past few episodes, and this episode, reiterate, the fact that she did play a little bit dirty, potentially, and how, what are your feelings in that? Does it affect your view of her?
I think that her reaction to the fact that she played dirty at the end of this episode says so much about her growth that now she's like, wait, would he be okay with knowing that I did that stuff? Would he still like me? Well, if he liked me, would he still like me if I did those things? Like, and she's like, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't like that I played the game that way. And then she's like, I'm horrible. I rely on foul play. And I think it's her realizing that she doesn't necessarily love and connect with how she's been taught and trained from a young age to handle competition.
I think I completely agree in the sense that, like, I felt uncomfortable when it was her and Miko in the room.
Yeah,
but I think that they used it to show growth from her character and how it's still continuing.
Because that's obviously how she would have been raised to handle situations.
I think so.
By her family.
And I think that, like, I think Miyuki makes her a better person. Right, makes her want to be a better person.
Once you have someone that you don't want to ever hate you.
Yeah.
Once you have that, where you like someone so much that you don't want them to ever think anything ill of you. Yeah. That's exactly what she needed. Because she never probably felt responsible at all or worried about what anyone would think of her. She probably didn't even care until she met someone that she cared about.
I love it. A good episode. I didn't talk a lot this episode. I felt like it was just a lot of, like, real story.
Yeah. And it wasn't bitty.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Each of, like, the side stories were very serious to move the plot forward, and I appreciate that.
I wonder if Hayasaka working for Kaguya's family is ever going to be, like, a known fact by how this was, like, kind of the first time they've shown us them almost getting caught in an interaction when they normally try to avoid interactions or being caught talking to each other or knowing each other.
It's definitely an interesting, like, dynamic, you know, that they, like...
She runs to Hayasaka. It's like she knows that Hayasaka's going to be somewhere where people can't see her. And so she just knows if she runs to wherever that she'll find her. And it's so sweet.
I think Chika would be jealous of Hayasaka.
Oh, Chika would be so jealous. Does Kaguya have a mom?
I don't know, but
because she kind of... Hayasaka's kind of very motherly to her. Big sister, nurturing, comforting, teaching her how to be a better person, pushing her out of her comfort zone.
I have a really, like... Okay, so a dark thought. Like, if it wasn't for the episode of Hayasaka, like, trying to get the president, I would suggest that potentially Hayasaka is, like, an internal safety net that Kaguya has, like, a figment of her imagination.
Like an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Ho, that would have been cool.
Like, and dark but and, like,
sad.
Messed up. Yeah.
This would have been a different show.
Right? Like, but, like, she built her and created her because she didn't have anyone else, like, emotionally. That would have been nuts.
Chika would be so jealous. Chika wants to be all those things for Kaguya.
Agreed.
She wants Kaguya to run into her chest for comfort.
Mm-hmm. I still love that the fan is being included. You know? It's cool.
You pointed out that Ishigami was the first one in the room.
Yeah, he wants, like, FOMO, right? Like, he wants to be there more, and they're showing it actively. Like, he loves and cherishes these people and his friends.
Especially, I think Miyuki is a huge, the major reason. I think he definitely feels like Miyuki's, like, his best friend. He really likes Miyuki.
Yeah.
And he wants to be there to support Miyuki. And he wants to be there to hang out with Miyuki. And I think he also has care for the other two, even though he is kind of scared of Kaguya sometimes.
Agreed, and I think that he might have had an inkling that Miko, would be part of the student council if they won, and that's why another reason why he wanted to like kind of protect her a little bit.
I think he probably figured that if Miyuki had any inkling of Miko, and that's why he told Miyuki the backstory.
Yeah.
I think he knew that Miyuki's heart was so kind that he would, as Miyuki said at the very end, you need experience.
It'll be great to have on your resume.
How could, why would you elect someone who had no experience being on the student council? They need to at least be some position to know how the student council works for people to trust you with budgeting and morals and running the school and the image of the school. I just hope she doesn't make all the guys shave their heads.
That's such a random funny bit.
And she was like, I realized that boys were running later for school because they had to spend more time on their hair. And he was like, I don't think that's like a valid, complete reason to have them shave their heads. And she was like, I like it. It's cool.
Cross-series shipping, Miko, and Tanaka.
I like it. It. She's cute. He'd probably think she was cute.
Mm-hmm.
He might be more into her friend, though.
Yeah?
The straight black hair and the glasses. That might be more his type.
I think I love that she's not part of the student council. Like, not in, like, even a mean way or, like, a way that they couldn't have handled it narratively. I think that it adds to her character more and, like, says something more about how much she cares for Miko, And I like that.
I hope that... I feel like for the sake of, like, Miko's character, we need to meet maybe some other characters eventually that we could possibly see as people that in the future she would trust. If this friend is not going to be involved in the student council, it could be cool if, like, Miyuki and Kaguya and the student council start interacting and or training, for lack of a better term, some other young students.
I like that.
And so we see some. I also like the morals committee. That's interesting. Maybe
we'll meet Chika's board game friends and they end up being younger. And they end up being part of the council or
Let's
something.
just have a whole episode where we go to clubs.
That would be fun. I'd like that. I still want to see like the archery club a little bit.
I love that. Remember how first season Kaguya and Chika were helping with the drama club?
Yeah.
I was like, what other clubs do you help with? I want to see a day where they have to help like all of the different clubs.
I'm excited for next episode because I'm like, okay, we're back. I'd never thought I'd be saying this, but we're back to the formula of like being like able to get some like war. And I'm excited to see how Miko, like fits in with that dynamic.
Like, will she catch on? Will she have a crush on Miyuki? I don't know. Sometimes in romances, they add someone who's a rival but is never actually a rival, where there's no potential ever that they're gonna win, but it's just added in for narrative interest. I don't know. Some of the times it's like, why did you add that? It was unnecessary. And other times it's nice because it pushes the two that are in love with each other to get further and further closer to a confession.
I'm just excited to see like where they write it, like how they write her. Like, is she gonna be like a character that's blatantly like, oh, why are you guys flirting? And then everybody's like, what? Or is she going to be, like, completely oblivious, but, like, be another thing that gets in the way? Like,
if she thinks they're flirting, she's going to get mad at them because she doesn't believe romance has any place here. So
I'm excited to see how they use her.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.